Okay. Gurve Goda Chandra Radhika Tadale Krishna Krishna Bhakta Bhakta Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gauda Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I offer pranams to Gurudev, Shripad Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, all our Rupanuga Guru Parampara, all devotees. Thank you for coming. Okay, so today is Disappearance Day of Sri Ramananda Roy. So all scriptures say he is Vishaka in Krishna Lila. Then she is Vishaka. But when Krishna then also came, so that Vishaka came in the form of Sri Ramananda Roy. So these two are the guardians of our Sampradaya, Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had 3.5 main associates: Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar, Sikhi Mahiti, and his sister Madhavi. So these are 3.5 main associates. So, but especially main. Last 18 years of Lord Chaitanya. Then in deeper, the separation mood of Radhika in association of these two special associates, especially Ramananda Roy and Swarup Damodar would speak, quote different verses from the Bhagavatam, from the poetry of Chandidas, Vidyapati. In this way, they would give so much ecstatic feelings to Lord Chaitanya. So, okay, Radhika, so we'll speak something from Anti Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita, the special glories of Ramananda Roy, the special position. So Lord Chaitanya had 2 associates called Pradyumna. One was Pradyumna Brahmachari. He's also known as Nrsimhananda. Okay, so that Pradyumna, he's mentioned in Jaiva Dharma. And he had special relationship with Nrsimhadev. But another Pradyumna is Pradyumna Mishra. He was an Audian devotee. And he was Grihastha. The other Pradyumna was Brahmachari, but Pradyumna Mishra is Grihastha. So one day, Pradyumna Mishra came to Lord Chaitanya and did dandavats and asked, Suna Prabhu, Munidin Grihastha Adam Kona Bhagya Panachar Tuma Dulabhacharan. I'm Grihastha, that means I'm married and I'm in a fallen position, but somehow I got your lotus feet, which I rarely attained. I wish to hear topics of Krishna. So be kind and speak to me something. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself and the original speaker, Krishna says, Vedanta Krishna, I am the compiler of the Vedas, I am the goaler of the Vedas. By all the Vedas, only I am understood. Vedas means Krishna Katha. Of course, sometimes it's indirect and sometimes direct. But indirect Krishna Katha is also lead people to Krishna eventually. But Lord Chaitanya said, I do not know topics of Krishna. If you want to know topics of Krishna, you should go to Ramananda Roy. So Bhagyatuma Krishna Katha Sunate Hoy Man Ramananda Pas Jai Karaha Shravan. You are very fortunate that you have developed taste in topics of Krishna. because there is nothing higher than this. Sometimes people would say to Gurudev, Gurudev, I do not have taste in chanting Harinam. Then Gurudev said, what? You think the highest thing should be so easily attained? So taste in topics of Krishna, this is the highest liberation. There is nothing higher than that. Therefore, Yadnamadaya, Rupa Goswami writes in his Namastakam, even Paritastham Harinam Samsraya, even liberated souls, they give up everything, but they cannot give up the sweetness of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. So one who develops greed, a taste to hear, this person has Krishna's mercy. Okay, so you are lucky. Mahaprabhu said, because you have faith, you have taste in hearing names of Krishna. So, Pradyumna Mishra approached Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself. Give me your mercy. Then Mahaprabhu said, no, I don't know topics of Krishna. Topics of Krishna spoken by my devotees. Therefore it said, the Bhagavatam, which come from Vyasadeva, is sweet. Ambeti sukhavyati vyasuveti navetiva bhakte bhagata grayam nabudeya nachatikya. Lord Shiva said, I know Bhagavatam. And Sukadev Goswami knows Bhagavatam, but whether Vyasadeva knows or not, I cannot say. Because Vyasadeva is incarnation of God. So devotee is more close to topics of Krishna even than Krishna. Another point here, mercy of Bhagavan comes through his devotees. So in this way, giving his full mercy to Pradyumna Mishra, Mahaprabhu sent him to Ramananda Roy. So again and again we see this in Krishna Katha, Krishna Jari Kripa Korikonda Bhagavan Guru Antarami Rupa Shiksha Praman. If Krishna gives mercy to someone, then he gives them the association of his devotees. And even more mercy, he gets it from the devotee, gets a chance to hear topics of Krishna. So, you have developed a taste for hearing topics of Krishna. You are very fortunate, but you should go to Ramananda Roy. Dharmaswa anustapum sam visvaksenu katasyat nad utpad yateratim sharma shieva kevalam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted from first canto of Bhagavatam. All of one's occupational duties, if it does not increase taste for hearing Harikatha, then that is useless activity. Okay, Radhika, why are we working job? Why? Why? I cannot think of a good reason. Oh, good reason is there. I can maintain my life so I can get a chance to hear Harikatha. I can have some money. I can travel for sadhu sang and hear Harikatha. So anything we do which does not increase our taste and attraction for topics of Krishna, this is called useless activity. Actually, this is our main problem. Attachment to topics unrelated to Krishna. That is the main disease in spiritual life. So, Pradyumna Mishra, being ordered by the Lord or advised by Lord Chaitanya, he went to visit Ramananda Roy. Ramananda Roy, Guru Maharaj would say, he was practically king. He was practically running everything. So, but when he met with Lord Chaitanya, he asked to King Gajapati Prataparudra to retire from material life. So the king gave him some lifelong pension and he joined with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Pradyumna Mishra went to the house of Ramananda Roy. And what was happening? What was Ramananda Roy doing? Ramananda Roy had written one poetry that is called Jagannath Ballabh Natak. Now that book is still there, describing some pastimes of Krishna. So just like the sadhu's highest entertainment is topics of Krishna, so Krishna also so much loved to hear katha. It's said in Goloka Vrindavan every night, Krishna and all Brijvasis sit and they hear sometimes different Puranic histories, different topics of Krishna. So Krishna also feels so much happiness hearing Krishna Katha. So for the happiness of Krishna, Ramananda Roy had written one drama. And that drama, he was thinking, I will act this drama out before the deity of Jagannath. Just like ordinary person before sleeping watches television or something. So Jagannath, every evening before sleeping, they do some music, some entertainment, some dance like this for Jagannath's pleasure in the evening in the temple of Jagannath. Especially they sing Geet Govinda of Jayadev, then Jagannath feels so much happy by that. So Ramananda Roy had written this drama. So he was training two girls, young girls, very beautiful young girls, how to enact the ecstasies that Ramananda Roy had explained in the drama. Especially before it was young girls, before marriage, or some say for whole life, these girls would be donated to the temple. They're called Devdasis, and they would train themselves in all these artistic things. No? So in a solitary place, Ramananda Roy took these two young girls, maybe 14, 13, 15, like that, and he's directing them how to dance according to the songs he had composed in Jagannath Balab Natak. So the servant said, just sit here. As soon as he is free from his service, I will definitely tell him that you have arrived. So Pradyumna Mishra was there waiting when Ramananda Roy will be available. And Ramananda Roy took these two girls to a solitary place in the garden. And there personally, he massaged their bodies with oil. He dressed them. He applied makeup. He bathed them. No, with his own hands, he did all these things. So, therefore, naturally, he even gave them bath. Therefore, naturally, he saw and touched all the intimate parts of these young girls' body. But Ramananda Roy remained completely unchanged, untransformed. Means no lust in him. No? Such is the mind of Ramananda Roy. Okay, is Mark Pound still there? Imagine if we had to do that, how long we would last. Our minds would become disturbed. Okay, don't tell us any details. So, despite being in a solitary place with two beautiful young girls, touching their bodies and everything, still Ramananda Roy, his mind and body remained like stone, like wood, right? If you touch a stone, stone doesn't become excited. If you touch a tree, tree does not become excited. So Ramananda Roy's mind and body were like wood and stone. So therefore it can be understood what was the position of Ramananda Roy. Actually, Shastra forbid one should not even sit with one's own mother or sister in a solitary place because the mind and senses are so powerful. So actually what Ramananda Roy is doing, in one sense, according to some vision, this is illegal. How can a man touch any girl except his own wife? So this will all be explained. Ramananda Roy, why Ramananda Roy is acting in such a way? Sometimes great devotees do something we cannot understand. So, especially high-class Vaishnavas, sometimes they do something unless a person cannot understand what they're doing. Therefore, they may make a mistake by criticize that devotee. I don't want to get off topic, but one time one man gave Gaurkashudas Babaji Maharaj some very nice chada and 5 rupees. So Gaurkashudas Babaji Maharaj was completely detached and blind. So again and again he was touching this chada. And again he was checking, he's still there, again and again. Then one man began to criticize Babaji Maharaj. Look, he's so much attached to the nice cloth and 5 rupees. Then Saraswati Thakur became very angry. You nonsense. You cannot understand. Babaji Maharaj is encouraging that man's Vaishnava seva. Imagine we give something to Gurudev and Gurudev just threw it away, or threw it in the bin, or this. Then we feel like just. So in the same way, Gokashudas Babaji Maharaj encouraging his Vaishnav Seva. Also a nice chada. 5 rupees. But Babaji Maharaj has no attachment to these things. And indeed, one day later, he gave this chada to someone else, and this 5 rupees he gave to someone else. So in the same way, why Ramananda Roy is behaving like this, Kaviraj Goswami describes. Sevya Buddhi, Aropya, Korana Sevan, Swabhavik, Dasibhav, Korene Aropan. Why Ramananda Roy was behaving in this way? Because Ramananda Roy always considered himself to be a maidservant of Radhika, a maidservant of the gopis. Internally, in his original spiritual position, he fully identified a male servant of the gopis. Okay? These are called the Manjaris. Right? The Manjaris always decorating the Nayak, like Radhika or even Lalita, Vishaka. They're always engaging. So if a lady touches another lady, of course in Kali Yuga things may be different, but in general sense, if woman touches another woman, there will be no lust. This way, Ramananda Roy, no identity, not thinking I'm male, thinking I'm Dasi. And these 2 girls are also mentality, with that mood, fully of mood, he was doing this service. Therefore, Kaviraj Goswami says, Mahaprabhu Bhaktagan Durgama Mahima Tahe Ramanandir Bhav Bhakti Prema Shima. The devotees of Lord Chaitanya, Durgama Mahima, their extraordinary qualities are very difficult to understand for the common man. And amongst all the is the highest, he will be the most difficult to understand. The prema to the high. Therefore, Tabi said, Giter Gurya Abhinay Koila. He taught these girls how to express the moods of the gopis. Of course, I know nothing about Indian dance, but still, if you see it, especially this Orissa dancing, I even forget the name of it. Anyway, but there the ladies, especially when they dance, they express their moods by different positions of the hands, different mudras, different glance of the eyes, how they hold their neck, how they hold their waist. In this way, they express many, many ecstasies. No? So in this way, Ramananda Roy would personally teach the girls, hold your neck like that, keep your hands like this, extend your hips like that. No? So in this way, he taught the young girls how to express the ecstasy through the movements of their faces, eyes, and all bodily limbs. Although through the feminine poses and dances they were taught by Ramananda Roy, the 2 girls could then express the ecstasies of the drama before Lord Jagannath. So Ramananda Roy's session, his mentality, this is all for the pleasure of Jagannath, all for the pleasure of Krishna. And of course, then after teaching the girls, he would have taken off all the ornaments, everything, dressed them properly, fed them nice prasad, and with their bodies fully covered, everything, he would return them to their homes, unexposed. Every day he trained these 2 young girls how to dance. Who amongst, Pratidin Rayache Kore Sadan Konjan Shuddhajiv Kaha Tarman. Here, very nice thing Kaviraj Goswami says. He says, the small-minded living entities. Okay, Radhika, who is that? Us. All small-minded people, raise hands. Small-minded means own self, own enjoyment. But Vaishnavas, their minds are broad-hearted because they're opposite. They're always thinking of the happiness of the unlimited Vastu, Sri Krishna. Right, Vilasini, right? You keeping your mind small or keeping mind big? Okay. Cool, everyone's mind is small. I'm thinking how I can enjoy. The devotee's mind is big because they're always thinking of the enjoyment of Krishna. So small-minded also means we cannot understand their activities. Like high-class devotees sleeping. Is there sleeping like us? No, we sleep to enjoy it or to recharge the body so we can do more nonsense tomorrow. But Guru Vaishnav, they're sleeping also, they're doing seva, but we cannot understand. We cannot see how they are serving. Within their minds, within their hearts, how they are serving, how they are absorbed in Harinam, we cannot see. No, we always should be very careful in judging the activities of high-class person. So, when the servant informed Pradyumna Mishra of everything, the servant then, when Ramananda Roy had finished, the servant told to Ramananda Roy, oh, one Pradyumna Mishra, Brahman, has come. He wants to see you. So immediately Ramananda Roy went to the place where guests are welcome. He offered his obeisances to Pradyumna Mishra because Pradyumna Mishra was Brahman. And with great humility, Ramananda Roy said, Bahukshan oilamor kehana kohila. You came a long time ago, therefore I have made offense to your lotus feet. How can I serve you? No, Tumad agamani mo pavitra hoilegad agya korun tumara kinka. Ramananda Roy very sweetly said, your lotus feet have purified my home. How can I serve you? I am your servant. Guru Maharaj would say this is a very sweet word in Bengali, also Sanskrit, Kinkar. Servants of Radhika are called Kinkaris, and the servants of Krishna are called Kinkar. Conjunct of the two words Kinkar. How can I serve you? What can I do? Kinkar only becomes Kinkari. The maid servants of Radhika only have one desire, one question. How can I please you? What can I do for you? Gogmaj would also say that is only one question the disciple may ask. How can I serve you? No, so Ramananda said, oh, you came, no one told me you would come, I am an offender. You have purified my house, how can I serve you? Pradyumna Mishra said, I came just to purify myself. No, but it's very late. Simply returned home. The next day when Pradyumna Mishra went to see Lord Chaitanya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked topics of Krishna from Ramananda Raya. Then Pradyumna Mishra all the activities around Pradyumna Mishra told to Lord Chaitanya. So do you think how strict is Lord Chaitanya? Generally speaking, how strict? There was one devotee called Chota Haridas. What did he do? He just had some desire to be with a woman, but he not did anything, but some desire. As a result, Lord Chaitanya rejected him. Committed suicide, and Lord Chaitanya said, very good. Lord Chaitanya was happy by his suicide. Yes, Lord Chaitanya is so strict, no? Especially in regards to illicit association with the opposite sex. Lord Chaitanya was very strict in that regard. Lord Chaitanya had another servant, and when Lord Chaitanya was going to South India, and he fell in love with some woman, some hippie, Bhattacharya. So As a result, Lord Chaitanya rejected him, no? Rejected him from his service. So Lord Chaitanya very strict, even though he is very merciful. In this regard, he was always strict, even as a grihasta, he was very strict. I suppose to speak of sannyasi, he would not say name of lady. He would not speak a name of lady generally. What to speak of talking or associating. So what would be the general reaction? So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard all the report, then Mahaprabhu said, Amitu sannyasi apanavara korimani darshane rahul kate nama yadi suni tabahe vikar pai more hoye konajan. So Chaitanya was so strict as sannyas. So I consider myself a very good follower of the renounced order. But if I even hear the name of a woman, my mind becomes. And what to speak of seeing a woman or touching? And not felt. No, because even the devotees of Lord Chaitanya are completely free from lust, then they take shelter of Lord Chaitanya, then they're definitely Lord Chaitanya fully free from all these things. Because he has no material body. Material senses attracted to the object of the senses. But Lord Chaitanya has no material senses. How can he be attracted to material things? That is philosophically impossible. But Lord Chaitanya instructed, be careful at school. Vilasini, listening? In school, there's many boys who want to talk to you. When you become older, probably even now already, they're making so many plans. So always be careful. Okay, Vilasini? Okay, poke out their eyes. At least one boy rip out his eye from his socket. Then all other boys will leave you alone. Very careful. So Lord Chaitanya instructing us. Even I feel transformation of mind and body. Who can remain unmoved by the sight of a woman? It is very difficult. Who was there? Actually, I remember some years ago, ISKCON GBC, should women give class? And some were saying yes, some were saying no. Then everyone was fighting. Then finally they asked Srila Govinda Maharaj. Then Govinda Maharaj said, Stri, woman means Stri. Stri means to expand. Stri means many things. Woman. But generally, Stri means to expand. Just by looking at a woman, desire to enjoy expands. And woman by her nature is expanding. Right? Woman gets married, what happens? Then she expands. Children come. She expands. House comes. Cars, saris, jewelry, many, many things necessary. So Stri means just by looking, one desire to enjoy expands. So Govinda Maharaj said, who is there in this room who is free from lust at the sight of a woman? Then no sannyasi put up their hand. Then Govinda Maharaj said, that is why women should not give class. He said like that. Anyhow, that's why in Krishna Balaram, generally speaking, Didi doesn't like ladies singing when man is there. Because hearing us singing, then some other thoughts may come. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, even I feel disturbance. Of a woman, even I hear that, I feel disturbance. No? Who in this world is unmoved at the sight of a woman? It is very difficult. This is Lord Chaitanya speaking. Ramananda, hear these topics of Ramananda Roy. They are extraordinary. The topic has come up. Ek devadasya sundari taruni Ta sabhang seva korine apani. These two young girls are beautiful and youthful. Yet Sri Ramananda Roy personally massages their entire bodies with oil. He personally touches their bodies, dresses them and decorates them. In this way, naturally, he sees and touches all the private parts of their Nevertheless, teaching the God to express all these moods, he remains fixed. His mind is like wood or stone. When he touches such young girls, his mind never changes. So in case anyone out there is thinking, oh, I should also do like that. If Ramananda Roy did it, then why can't we do it? If any one of us may be thinking that, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives warning. No. Ek Ramananda hoy e adhika tate jane aprakrit deha tuha. Therefore, this is proof that Ramananda Roy has a completely spiritual. We can understand his body is not material, but is completely transformed. Only Ramananda Roy can therefore act like Ramananda Roy. That is our. If we see someone doing something, Vaishnavas especially, then we think, I will do it. No harm. Gurudev did, I can also do. Is that a good theory, Lalit Kishori? That will not be good. No. Therefore, sometimes great personality does some extraordinary thing which is different from their instruction. Like Srila Gaugamaj gave example, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna warns Arjuna of lust and anger. Lust, anger, greed. These are the three gates to hell. Right? But you look at Krishna's life, how lusty, how greedy, how angry. When Mother Yasoda would not give him milk, then out of anger, he broke the pot. So here's an example of a great person. What they're instructing is different from their own actions. Like Krishna. That time we should not imitate, we should not follow that action, we should just follow their instructions. Like the sun. Sun purifies dead bodies, sun shines on stool and urine, but sun never becomes contaminated. In the same way, great persons, no matter what they do, they're never contaminated by their own activities. So Mahaprabhu gives warning. Sometimes High Vaishnava does something, should we imitate? That time we should not do anukaran, we should not mindlessly imitate. We should simply follow their instructions. But our nature, we always go to the lowest. Just for example, right? Anyway, I can't think of any. Some example, right? I heard there was one example. Prabhupada had some digestion problems. So he asked, bring me one 7-Up. I must admit, sometimes when I have migraine headache, then I drink Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola have caffeine. And caffeine expands the blood cells in the head. And because I never drink caffeine, right? A little bit of caffeine, then all the headache goes away. It's like better than taking an aspirin or Panadol. Anyway, I'm just giving that example. So Prabhupada said, I want to drink a 7-Up because it's good for digestion. So when he drank it, then he said, oh, this is great, Very nice. So he had a 7-Up. The next day he wanted another one, so he drank. Then, of course, some idiot gets on the phone. Prabhupada had 7-Up. Oh, yeah. Well, Prabhupada had one. Why can't I have one? So all devotees began drinking 7-Up. This went on for a few days, and Prabhupada noticed outside the door of the Brahmachari ashram like 20 bottles of 7-Up. This is a true story. I think it was in Bombay. Then Prabhupada said, what's going on? Why everyone's drinking so much 7-Up? Well, then Prabhupada's doing, so, everyone doing the Prabhupada said, stop this nonsense. Then he had to stop drinking 7-Up. So they are doing for some seva, but we are doing not for seva, we are just doing for some enjoyment. That is the difference. So even you imitate, but that imitation is devoid of the essence, which is prema. An offense even to imitate the speech, the mannerisms, even the idiosyncrasies of a Vaishnava. Like Govinda Maharaj, like he's talking, he's shouting, but I imitate that, that is illegal. Why? Because everything he's doing is under the influence of prema. I have no prema, then how can I imitate him? This is cheating. No? So anyway, this is a big topic. But Mahaprabhu warned, only Ramananda Roy can act like Ramananda Roy. Why? Because only Ramananda Roy is on the level of Ramananda Roy. Completely free from lust. What is the proof? Even though he touches these young girls, he has no lust. Therefore, his body is completely spiritualized. Transformed into a spirit. His body is not material, but has been completely transformed into a spiritual entity. Okay, just like you put iron into fire. What happens, Sita? Oh, Satyavrat is really there. If you put iron into fire, iron becomes like fire. So this body absorbed in seva, in bhajan, this body becomes spiritualized in the same way. So Tahar, in case Lokanath's thinking, well, maybe I should also do like Ramananda Roy, Mahaprabhu give warning. Tahar maner bhav, tha janamatra, tha janibara dvitya nahi patra. Only Ramananda Roy can act like Ramananda Roy. No one else can understand the position of his mind. Okay, Mohan? Don't get any ideas there in Sochi. Always be careful. So, Mahaprabhu said only Ramananda Roy can understand Ramananda Roy, but still scripture give us Braru Sangha Krishna Rashadi Vilash Najani Kohir Sune Korea Biswas. In the same pastimes with the Brajagopis, one becomes free from lust. Ridrog Kam Ta Tatkale Hoi Kshai Tingun Kshobanahi Mahadira. By hearing this Krishna Katha, especially these topics of Krishna with the young gopis, by hearing this, one becomes free from lust. Ridrog means disease of the heart. Okay, Don? Ridrog doesn't mean like blockage of the arteries due to excessive cholesterol eating, no. Ridrog means the disease of the heart. No matter how much we get, we always want more. So how this lust is extinguished, right? If you go to the doctor, he can give you a new eye, he can give you new teeth, he can give you new hearing aids, pacemaker. Even these days, they can give you a new liver, new kidney, new heart, new hip, right, Radhika, new knees, new eyes, everything. But if you say to the doctor, doctor, I have too much lust, then the doctor will do what? What he'll give you? A vairagya? What he'll give you? Doctor will think this guy is lucky. His life is successful. He has too much lust. But there is no medicine for that. And that disease, that is our... And what is the topics of Krishna? Topics of Krishna. Okay. So we should hear this. But should hear from correct person, proper person. So Vikritate Brajabadubhetam Shavishnu Shodanvato Anushunayat Tadvanayadva Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilubda Kama Mridrog Ase Apanoti Achirena Dira. That is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukadev Goswami says, when you hear this pastime of Krishna, especially his pastimes with the young gopis, which are full of apparently sexual affairs, loving affairs, but if one hears that, a miracle will happen. A transformation will happen. One will become free from lust. If we hear of topics of man and woman and ordinary men and women and their loving dealings, lust will arise. But because Krishna and his devotees are transcendental, by hearing of their loving affairs, then this transcendental medicine will destroy the influence of goodness, passion, and ignorance in our hearts, and one become dhira. Dhira means fixed, sober, then easily can tolerate speech, the urges of speech, mind, anger, belly, genitals, all these things. That is called dhira. Okay. Therefore, if one is transcendently, forgotten how to speak English. If a transcendentally situated person, following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami, right? This is Prabhupada's own translation. But actually the Bengali not say all these things, but he's given some explanation for us. If a transcendently situated person following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami hears and speaks about the Raslila dance of Krishna as an always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, while serving Krishna day and night, it should be understood that such a person is eternally liberated, associate of the Lord, and his body is completely spiritualized. Okay, Radhika, how's that 24 hours remembrance of Krishna going? Not so great. That means still so much material stuff is in our minds and body and senses. This is simple proof. How much we think of Krishna when we chant. How much we think of Krishna when we dream. That is the answer, how much spiritual advancement you've made. How much you are still material, or how much you have spiritually progressed. Therefore, Ragnu Ma Jani Raya Bhajan Siddhadeha Tulyatate Prakita Nahiman. This is Lord Chaitanya speaking, ultimate authority. Ramananda Roy is situated on the path of spontaneous love of Krishna. But therefore, he is in his spiritual body. His mind is not materially affected. I also hear topics of Krishna from Ramananda Roy. If you want to hear such topics, go again, but this time mention my name to him. Go quickly. In this way, Pradyumna Mishra immediately departed. When Pradyumna Mishra got there, Ramananda Roy asked, "How can I serve you?" Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has sent me to hear topics of Krishna from you. Hearing this, Ramananda Roy became absorbed in prema and began to speak with great happiness. See, 1 hour gone. Where 1 hour gone? Who knows? In this way, the great ecstasy, Ramananda Roy began to speak. Oh, Lord Chaitanya has sent you. Therefore, you come to hear about Krishna. What do you want to hear? And Ramananda Roy said, I want to hear the discussion between you and Lord Chaitanya you had on the banks of the Kaveri River. That is all in Madhya Lila chapter 8. What kind of Krishna Katha you want? I want to hear the same topics you spoke to Lord Chaitanya at Vidyanagar. Then Pradyumna Mishra said, you are the Guru even for Lord Chaitanya. I am just a beggar, a Brahmin. I depend upon you for my maintenance. I am so much foolish, I don't even know how to ask. Right? Unless proper questions are there, then proper topics of Krishna cannot come. Right? Unless Arjuna was there, Bhagavad Gita would not have been spoken. Because proper patra, proper recipient was there. Because if you want to hear about Krishna, there should be a listener and a speaker. So unless there's a proper listener, then proper topics of Krishna will not come. No? Like many times Gurudev would see it and he would ask any questions, there would be silence. Or some stupid question. Mostly stupid question. Gurudev, can we eat chocolate? Something like that. Then Gurudev would say, this is proof. None of you are reading. Because none of you you're not, because you're not reading, you're not thinking properly. And because you're not thinking topics of Krishna, you cannot ask any proper topics of Krishna. Okay, Radhika, reading every day a little bit. What does that mean? 500, 300 pages a day. Anyway, so Pradyumna Mishra said, I don't even know what to ask. I don't know what is good or bad. So speak whatever you think is good. I will listen to that. So Ramananda Roy began speaking, and the ocean of prema became agitated. And he began asking himself questions. When Mahaprabhu spoke with Ramananda Roy, then Mahaprabhu was asking questions. So because Mahaprabhu, of course, is the topmost, he is Krishna, then perfect questions. Then Ramananda Roy's katha could reach the last limit. But when there's no qualified person, so Ramananda Roy began asking his own questions. And he would give his own answer. Thus they spoke. Afternoon came. Topics of Krishna were still not finished. No? Not like us. We look at the clock. Oh my God, Damodar Maharaj has been going on for 1 hour already. So anyway. But when he forgot, both the speaker, Ramananda Roy, and the listener became absorbed in ecstatic love of Krishna. They forgot their bodies. They forgot their minds. How could they perceive the end of the day had come? No, we are very alert. Prasadam is this time, sleeping is this time. When this day will come and we will forget all these things. The servants came again and again. The day has ended. The day has ended. It's in Saraswati Thakur would also have this type of taste in speaking. When the servants would say, Prabhupada, because doctor had given order, don't speak so much. So the servants would come, Prabhupada, please. Now is prasad, now is this, some excuse they would give to try to stop him from speaking. And Saraswati Thakur said, when people would ask, how are you? He'd say, I'm okay, but I'm unable to speak about Krishna. Therefore, I'm not going very well at all. So the servants again and again said, oh, Ramananda Roy, please, now is daytime is over, finished. So Ramananda Roy gave obeisances to the Brahmin Pradyumna Mishra. No. Then Pradyumna Mishra began to dance. Pradyumna Mishra returned home because he is Brahmin anyway, so on cooking, on eating. In the evening, he went to see Lord Chaitanya. Did you hear topics of Krishna? Asked Lord Chaitanya. Yes, you have made me you have made my life fortunate. I am extremely obliged to you because you have drowned me in topics of Krishna. I cannot properly describe the talks of Ramananda Roy. He is not an ordinary human being. He is fully absorbed in the mellows of devotional service to Krishna. Ramananda Roy also said, do not consider me the speaker. Whatever I'm spoken by Lord Chaitanya, I'm just an instrument. Like the violin or guitar has no independence. What the musician plays, the guitar makes that noise. I am not speaking. Lord Chaitanya is speaking through me. I think what Ramananda Roy spoke, even the demigods, beginning with Brahma, cannot properly understand these topics of Krishna. Pradyumna Mishra did obeisances. I am very obliged to you. You have made me do Harikatha. Therefore, life after life, I sell myself to your lotus feet. No, so in simple language, Lord Chaitanya's mercies, we always get a chance to hear high-class Harikatha. And if one is not hearing that Harikatha, that means one has not gotten the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Especially if we can hear from high-class person like Madhusudan Maharaj, that means really, for some reason, Lord Chaitanya is giving us so much mercy. So don't neglect it. And When Mahaprabhu heard this, he said, "Oh, Ramananda Roy, he is what he said, no? He has so much humility. Therefore, he has attributed his own words to me, but actually, no, this is all Ramananda Roy." Characteristics of high persons, even though they're the greatest, they always consider themselves to be very low. And they personally do not speak of their own good qualities. I would say one who glorifies himself, he drinks poison. We have no good qualities, but still we invent something and speak to others. This is the sign of a low-class person. A high-class person, think, I did nothing. I have nothing. So Kaviraj Goswami said, I have described but a tiny fraction of the glories of Ramananda Roy. Grihastha hana nahi roy sadvargavesh vishayhan sanyasi rupadesh. Although Ramananda Roy was a householder, he advised even persons in the renounced order, right? High-class Vaishnav, for example, like Didi, Krishna Priya Didi, we consider her also, she is on that level also, she can give instruction to any sannyasi. Because on that level, normally a grihastha should never give advice to a sannyasi. They have no right. No, people should take note. These days, grihastha is very fond of pointing out faults of sannyasi, but actually this is not the department of grihastha ashram. Only sannyasi can point out the fault of another sannyasi. No? But Ramananda Roy was on such a level, even though he was a grihastha, still he is fit to instruct sannyasi. So Vaishnava is beyond all this consideration of Vana and Ashram. What to speak of thinking this is woman, anything else. Therefore we judge someone not on their birth or in their Vana or their Ashram. We judge, Vaishnavas judge someone according to their bhakti. Nothing else. No? So to demonstrate this, the glories of the Vaishnava, was sent by Lord Chaitanya to hear discourses of Krishna from Ramananda Roy. Another point, Pradyumna Mishra was a Brahmin, and Ramananda Roy was like a Sudra. Of course, he's not a Sudra, but he appeared in that situation. So we should never judge Vaishnava according to their caste, or male or female, or anything like that. We should just judge Vaishnavas according to their devotion. To teach the three worlds this very, very important instruction, Lord Chaitanya sent a Brahmin like Pradyumna Mishra to hear from someone like Ramananda Roy. No? Bhaktagun Prakashite Prabhu Balajan Bhagati Guna Prakashi Nijala Biman. Lord Chaitanya knows perfectly how to manifest the glories of his devotees. He does this like a painter. Painter knows how to paint. Lord Chaitanya knows how to reveal the glories of the devotees. Sannyasir Pandit Gane Koriti Garvanas Nich Sudra Dwar Korena Dharmena Prakash. To destroy the pride of the so-called sannyasis, scholars, Lord Chaitanya manifests through the mouth of a Sudra, or low-born fourth class of man, like Pradyumna Mishra. Lord Chaitanya often doing this. He described, how did Lord Chaitanya proclaim the glories of the name of Krishna? To an outcast like Sri Haridas Thakur. He explained the glories of Rasa Bhakti through a Sudra like Sri Ramananda Roy. And he knows very nicely how to manifest all these things. So we should give up our pride. Anyway, what pride we have, but still we have pride. I'm American, you're only a Russian. Still we have nothing, still proud of that. That is Kali Yuga. Bhakti Prem Tatvat Hoy Roy Kore Vakta Pradyumna Mishra Sai Hoy Shota. Ramananda Roy in the form, Lord Chaitanya in the form of Pradyumna, in the form of Ramananda Roy, spoke religious principles. He made Ramananda Roy a Grihasta born in a low family. He made him a speaker. And Lord Chaitanya himself, Brahman and Bhagawan, made himself the hero. In this way, we should take action on who's senior and who. Okay, Haridas, Dwarinam, Mahima Prakash, Sanatana Dwara Bhakti, Siddhanta, Vilas, Sanatana Goswami had also become like a Muslim. But through Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya manifested the Siddhanta of devotion. Through the Muslim Haridas Thakur, Lord Chaitanya manifested the glories of Harinam. Sirupa Dwara Brajer Pramarasilas, Kebuchite Par Gombita Chaitanya Rakalas. Through Rupa Goswami, who had also become like a Muslim because of association. Through Rupa Goswami, Lord, the glories of Braja Prem. The activities of Lord Chaitanya are deep like an ocean of nectar. Even one drop can drown these three worlds. For devotees, Chaitanya Chaitam Nitya Koripan Yaha Hoite Premananda Bhakta Tattvajnan. Or devotees daily read this Chaitanya Charitamrita. By doing so, one will easily understand, attain prema, and have proper knowledge of what is bhakti tattva, what is devotion. This way, Lord Chaitanya did many, many, many pastimes. Okay, so actually, I want to give one more English class, if I may, a week. Maybe Wednesday is good. I always say maybe Wednesday, one class in English is not enough. So Wednesday, I would like to give another English class. Thursday is Russian class. And Sunday, again, English class. And Monday morning, Spanish class. Okay, so today, we heard the glories of Sri Ramananda Roy, and in the same chapter, Antilila chapter 5, in the same chapter is the glories of Swarup Damodar. Another is describing the glories of Swarup Damodar. No? So are there any questions? So today is the disappearance of Ramananda Roy. We do pranam to him and bless. If we could even become 1% like him, then our life would be successful. No? Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Any questions from anyone? Okay, so Maharaj give class tomorrow, 9 o'clock. So I think that's Hindi class.
I think I might have a question, if you don't mind.
Okay, who's asking?
Manorama.
Oh, wow, still live. What's the question? You have to turn on the camera so you know it's really you.
I'm driving.
Oh, well,
Oh, that's safe.
Well, I mean, that's why I don't have the camera on. Anyways, I think I'm just going to be sitting with this question, so I figured I'd let it out. But why is it that Ramananda Rai was massaging these girls with oil if he had no interest in?
Because he has to teach them how. Did you listen to the class or did you just join the last 5 minutes?
No, I listened. I was trying to listen.
The drama, and he wants to tell us how to enact all the ecstasies of the drama. Because he wrote the drama, he understands the moods, so he's teaching the girls how to express these moods in the dancing.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? Don't have any other, don't think anything else. That's the point.
I got it. Thank you.
That's the point of the class. Any other questions from anyone?
Yes, Maharaj, one question.
Who is this?
Mundarik.
Oh, okay. Good.
I did not hear. Did you say who was Ramananda as a gopi?
Vishaka.
Vishaka.
Just right. I answered that question today because someone said, oh, you are going to this person, so that's why I just checking. But I know your wife is not going to that person, so that's why I asked. Okay?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Classes, we like to listening generally because people have bad moods or, so we just, only those people we trust, then we like them to come for the classes, no?
Yeah, yes, no problem.
That's why I asked. Okay,
yeah,
Shanti. Oh, any other question?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, another name of Radha, Anuradha, or not also small Radha. Anu means same as Radha, because Vishaka born on the same day as Radharani.
Oh.
So she is called Anuradha. And Lalita, she is 27 days older than Radharani. So in some ways, Vishaka also more close to Radhika because same age, everything's same. This way, Ramananda Roy naturally has a very intimate relationship with Lord Chaitanya. Okay, do we have any other questions? Shanti, anything? Mark is there. Any questions, Mark?
Yeah, I got a question. I've heard that we were made in God's image.
Yeah.
Is that image the material gross body, or is it the Atma?
Both.
Thank you. Haribol.
Like, for example, the Christians, God has no form. Can you hear me?
Yes. I hear you.
Many Christians believe God is the Genesis, the beginning of the Bible says God made man in his own image and likeness. That means God also has 2 hands, 2 legs, nose, 2 eyes, mouth, ears, everything. So Gurudev said, if you don't believe God has a human-like form, cross that verse out of the Bible. So the soul also has human-like form, and of course this gross body also, but both, it refers to both, soul body and also material body. Guru Maharaj would say the Quran also says, yeah, Allah made man as if looking in a mirror. So if God has no image, no form, how man has form. God has human-like form. Satyarat.
Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Thank you. So next Wednesday, we'll do the English class as well, okay? Can you hear me, Lokanath? Do like this if you can hear me? Okay, take it. Okay, so next Wednesday, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.